Thank you, Jesse Norman. Hi, I'm Jerry Van Klinken. Glad you can join me. Today, all things think. Yes, a philosophical adventure. We who are anxious about the climate crisis love nature and believe nature talks to us. At least, we like to believe that. It is certainly true in a poetical sense when we are struck by the beauty of a sunset or the gratitude of a stray dog that looks into our eyes. And it is a very old idea. Look at this Chauvet cave painting of animated lionesses, this Buddha achieving enlightenment under the Bodhi tree, this night scene by Caspar David Friedrich. But can we be sure we're not fooling ourselves when we imagine nature talking to us? Scientists have opened our eyes to the vastness of space and the intricacy of the atomic nucleus, and they generally believe that the only beings that can literally talk intelligently to us are other humans. Maybe a few higher mammals like dogs and dolphins. Nature, they say, consists of atoms moved by force fields, gravity, electromagnetism, strong force, weak force, not by a mind. If we truly want to create a new, more ecological civilization based on values, we must be in accord with nature as it is, not as we would like it to be, in some new age fantasy. If those scientists are right, then we are fantasizing to think nature really talks to us. Fantasies are treacherous. Some are innocent, ley lines conveying earth energy between sacred sites like Stonehenge and the Great Wall of China, horoscopes based on planetary alignments, angels and masters in UFOs, the magic power of crystals. They quickly become less innocent when the same people join antisocial movements rejecting vaccination or take to the streets alongside racist conspiracy theorists. Nature does not allow us to simply believe anything that seems attractive to our untrained imagination. So, what do the ancient philosophers say about this, and can we still learn from them? Those are the questions we always ask ourselves in this vlog. If you've been with me a while, you may remember Heraclitus, the philosopher from Ephesus in present-day Turkey, the founder of metaphysics, about 500 BC. We know him today for his enigmatic sayings, like a Chinese sage. I want to talk again about this one. Thinking is common to all. Last time we read that fragment as applying only to people. Thinking is common to all people. That is, we all have the same ability to think and observe, to understand the world, that is, to do science. Truth is not a private property, it is common to us all. Now, Heraclitus often deliberately phrases things such that he can be read in more than one way, and we can also read this one as applying to everything. Thinking is common to all things. That is, everything in the universe has some mind-like quality from the atoms upwards. Wouldn't that be something? One of the other early Greek philosophers, Empedocles, actually said it straight out without enigmatic double meanings. For know that all things have thought, phronesis, and a share of mind, noema. If this were really true and not a New Age fantasy, it would be the most incredible, the wildest idea to come from the ancient philosophers so far. It would revolutionize our attitude to the natural world. And there's more. Thinking is common to all things implies a thinker, a soul, or what the Greeks call psyche. As the great Heraclitus scholar Charles Kahn put it, if all things think, then all things are alive. But if all things are alive, empsycha, then all must have a share in psyche, the life principle. The soul can travel everywhere, since everything is psychic territory. Now, philosophers call the idea that all things have a mind or a mind-like quality Panpsychism. American philosopher David Skrbina has written a brisk, no-nonsense book called Panpsychism in the West, explaining the concept and its history. The idea has had an amazing influence among serious thinkers ever since the time of Heraclitus. Even when philosophers of science have said, no, the universe is one great machine, a mechanical clockwork, lacking all soul, except for one animal species on one tiny planet in one corner of the Milky Way galaxy. Even then, some metaphysical philosophers have argued back, and I think with many good reasons. You might have heard of Spinoza or of Leibniz. In the 19th century, there were Schopenhauer and Nietzsche and Ernst Haeckel. In the 20th, there were Alfred North Whitehead, his student Bertrand Russell. In the 21st, there are Garland Strawson, David Ray Griffin, and too many others to name. All of them sane, rational, science-literate people. Not a New Age guru among them. The implications for the ecological movement are clearly immense. If everything has a mind, if nothing is dead, who are we to treat it simply as a resource for our enjoyment, as if we are alone in this universe? We are not alone. Let me leave you with pictures of two people I find inspiring. This is Henryk Skolimowski, Polish, in the US until his death in 2018, and one of the world's leading eco-philosophers. He began by thinking about the negative angst generated by current technology, about the loss of human values, and he then developed the view that the world is a sanctuary and not a machine. Mind and reality must be taken together as a unit. And this radically expands the sphere of the ethical. It now applies to everything, and not just to other humans, or even humans and animals. Reverence for all creation is part of the ethical imperative, Skolimowski wrote. I find the term biocentric not far-reaching enough, he added. The non-living components to the world, rock, soil, water and air, bear intrinsic value just as do the living parts. And this is Freya Mathews, like Skolimowski, a panpsychist philosopher, but at a university in Melbourne. In one of her books, she has written that if mind, or subjectivity, infuses everything, then we can no longer treat the world as an inert backdrop to the human presence. Then the world is itself a communicative presence. We can live in dialogue, in love, and in erotic, an incandescent state of realization within that world. If we all lived like that, there would be no environmental crisis. Look these philosophers up. Read them. Ask yourself, do all things really think